Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about characters in farming sims who should be marriage candidates, but unfortunately they aren't. In today's video I'm going to tell you guys 5 characters that I wish were marriage candidates, and I'm going to be sharing a few that you guys also said that you wish were marriage candidates. To start out our list, at number 5, we're going to have Carter from Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you'll know that before the release of A Wonderful Life, I was really hoping that they would add him as a marriage candidate since it was going to be a remake, and he was marriageable in Harvest Moon DS. So yeah, I thought there was a little bit of hope. And then even after the game came out, I was like, okay, well maybe they're going to release some DLC that will add a marriage candidate or two, but yeah, they didn't end up doing that either. In the game, I wouldn't say he has a bad personality, but yeah, he just always is obsessed with archaeology, and yeah, he's kind of one tone. If he became a marriage candidate, it would be cool to see something deeper. Obviously then he'd have a deeper relationship with the farmer, and it'd be interesting to see more of his backstory and things like that. But yeah, as he is in the game, he's not really super exciting, so that's why he's just going to be number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have a character from a game that's actually not even released yet. And that character is Ulrich from Fields of Mystria. In case you missed it, Fields of Mystria, it's an upcoming farming sim, and this game looks absolutely amazing. I'm super excited about it. Part of the reason I bought a PC is because I was like, okay, this game is coming to Steam and it's coming to PC, so I really need to make sure I can be able to play this game as soon as possible. And I have to say that all the updates, I'm always like really super excited. I'm like, yes, this game is looking amazing. But when they announced this character and then they announced that he's not going to be a marriage candidate, I was like, oh snap, they're making a mistake right there. So I guess because this game is unreleased, there's still a chance that he will become a full-fledged marriage candidate, but yeah, as of right now, he's not. For him, I think his character design looks really cool, he looks really handsome, and the 2 lines of dialogue that we can see from him, I think they're both kind of funny and interesting. My first impression of Ulrich is really good. That's why he's all the way up at number 4 on this list. Coming in at number 3, we have Derek from Coral Island. So I've recently been playing Coral Island, and I bumped into this character, Derek, and I was like, dang, this person is really, really fine. Then I was shocked to find out that not only is he not a marriage candidate, he's not even a full-fledged villager. He only appears because, there's construction, he's a construction worker, and then bam, after the construction is completed, he just, moves on. With a character design that looks that good, and just like your intro to him is just like, oh my gosh, I definitely want to date this guy. But then bam, he just disappears. Coral Island is still a work in progress. They have a roadmap of where they want to take the game, but yeah, they definitely haven't said anything about Derek becoming a marriage candidate. So it's probably quite unlikely that we're ever going to get to romance Derek. Okay, coming in at number 2 is a character from Wylde Flowers, and that character is Angus. Now, Angus is another character that as soon as I met them, I was just like, oh my gosh, this character is so cool. I wish that we could date. Love his character design, love his personality, just getting to know him and his personality, and I was just like, dang, I really like this character. That being said, when you play Wylde Flowers, you're forced to play as a female character, and Angus, in the canon, he's actually gay, so yeah, it would be impossible for the 2 of them to date. However, that doesn't change the fact that I really like Angus, and I wish that we could date him in this game. In Wylde Flowers, there are actually scenes where he dates someone else, so yeah, the odds of him ever becoming a marriage candidate in Wylde Flowers is next to none. Before I announce my number 1, I wanted to get into a few characters that you guys thought should be marriage candidates in different farming sims. The Cinnamon with James wishes Kane was a marriage candidate in Animal Parade. Sailor Guardians wishes that Beth from Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town was a marriage candidate. And not 1, not 2, but 3 of you said Terry from Rune Factory 5. Now, Rune Factory 5, I have played it, but I didn't really play it that much. It didn't really click with me, so I had to look this character up because, yeah, I don't remember them from the game at all. Lady Game Over, she wishes that she could marry Jody from Stardew Valley. This one to me is actually very surprising. I've never really met someone who says they really like Jody. Everyone that I've seen talk about Jody is always talking about how she's a little bit on the boring side of things, but yeah, I guess someone out there wants to marry her. For me, I wouldn't mind Jody and Kent getting a divorce in the game because that means that we could date Kent. Kent is a character that we don't really get to know very well in the game, so I think it would be really interesting if he became a marriage candidate and then we could get to know his personality more. And then the last one, Jaro Taro said, "You're going to hate me for it, but I wish I could date the moms in Harvest Moon 64. Then they later clarified that they mean Lilia, the mayor's wife, and even Sasha. Okay, now that we've heard from some of the subscribers, it's time to go to my number one. And for me, my number one, I wish they were a marriage candidate character, is Zach from Harvest Moon 64. Now, Zach, he's also in a few other games in the series. He's also in Friends of Mineral Town, and so then, of course, he is in Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. Yeah, but he's not a marriage candidate in that game. It's actually really a shame because they made a whole bunch of other characters marriage candidates, but not him. And part of the reason that Zach is number one on my list is because he was one of the two characters that I really liked in the original Harvest Moon 64. I really liked him, and I really liked Gray, and I wished that they were both marriage candidates. Gray, eventually, you know, we had games where we can date Gray, but unfortunately, we never ever got a game where we could date Zach. There were a few games where you could date Bob, who I kind of confused the two for a little while. These two characters, they're very similar. They do have slightly different personalities and looks. One of them has black hair and one of them has brown hair, but yeah, they're very similar. But even then, Bob, the only game that he's a marriage candidate in is Magical Melody. Please let me know in the comments down below which character in a farming sim do you think should be a marriage candidate that isn't already. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.